everyone. Welcome to episode 26 of the Jeffrey and Brian Show. I'm Jeffrey.
I'm Brian.
And we're just two guys drinking beer, talking what's going on. We got a decent amount on the plate today, but I don't necessarily want to talk about all of it. Just some stuff that grabbed my attention. I kind of threw it on that list. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
I don't know about you, but I kind of want to get in on this Disney thing that happened.
Okay.
But I'm sure you got more important things that you want to talk about right now, like the impeachment situation.
Your breaking news alert. Well, yeah, I know it's a shock.
Sorry, there's so many free WAV files out there. It's so much fun.
That the Senate did not convict President Trump for impeachment, for inciting a riot.
Yes. Did you happen to follow the trial yesterday?
Mm-mm.
Defense showed video or whatever, and they said that, you know, like these people, the Democrats here have been doing the exact same thing, and no one said a word. They actually praised him, and now he's saying it's violence when he says the same thing. And it was hilarious because the prosecution says, "Oh, we don't remember any of this happening. Like, we don't remember anyone like offering to bail out rioters." And like, I showed you the video 3 times in a row.
Right.
Like, oh, yeah, well, about that.
Yeah, and
none of that shit mattered, though.
You know, they wanted to call up witnesses, and boy, did they change their mind on that fast, because Trump's lawyers said, "Well, we're not going to do witnesses today because I'm not doing a disposition over Zoom. It's going to be an in-person disposition, and I'm going to subpoena like 100 people to be witnesses to this thing."
Yeah, well, I don't think that's the right way to do it. But realistically,
well, I mean, he had some really good. Nancy Pelosi should be there. You know, Vice President Kamala Harris should have been deposed. People like that, you know. AOC, because she was near death.
Oh my God, yeah. None of that mattered. What was presented in this entire impeachment, though, it was decided.
No, but there wasn't even a real impeachment.
No, and I tried to explain that to people, and they're like, "No, this is so that they can make sure you can't get in office again." I'm like, "No, this isn't really an impeachment." I was like, the Chief Justice is not involved.
He didn't want to touch this with a 10-foot pole, you know. And when the first one happened, Trump was able to have his lawyers in the House of Representatives arguing points too. This was just ramrodded through the House of Representatives. They tried to lump a whole bunch of different charges into inciting an insurrection charge, which, if you actually listen to his actual speech, the whole speech.
Yeah, not chopped up bits of it.
Yeah, peacefully march down the Capitol Hill and peacefully make your voices heard.
Well, I mean, how many people were at the Capitol that day?
I don't know. Well, I think, and that was happening that when you look at the timeline, you can see that Trump's making his speech when there's already people trying to bust into the Capitol building. Those people that were at the Capitol building, I don't think were there to hear Trump's speech.
Even if they were. So what?
Well, that goes back to then Capitol Police were inadequately ready for the whole situation.
Well, I'm just saying, were the 5,000 people on the Capitol that day? I don't know. How many people actually got violent? Was it mostly peaceful?
Yeah, it was mostly peaceful. Most people went to the mall, listened to the president speak, and the other speakers. They got on their tour buses and they left town.
And they didn't
go to the Capitol building.
And yeah, exactly. There was so little actual violence that people didn't even know what happened that were there to see the president speak. Sounds to me like this fits right in with the exact narrative we heard all summer. You know, it was mostly peaceful protests, with the burning Wendy's behind him in the background.
Well, those mostly people protests are still going on in Portland.
Yeah, I know. Oh, jeez Louise. Get out. You know what I mean? Get out when you can.
They're throwing snowballs at the police now. Antifa activists smash windows and chuck snowballs at police in Portland.
So are they intentionally just driving down the property values in the entire area so someone else can come buy it up and rebuild it?
It seems to be that way, yes.
Rebuild it, sell it to some rich white people from the coast.
Yep. But I mean, and there ended up being 7 Republicans that joined the Democrats. And when you look at the list of names, a couple of them surprised me, but most of them do not surprise me that they didn't vote. Actually, I didn't even see Mitt Romney's name on there now that I think about it.
Really? They used Mitt Romney recently. I saw something. They how the security had to usher him out because he was in imminent danger, and it's like, all right.
Oh yeah, his name is on there. It was Richard Burr from North Carolina, Susan Collins, Bill Cassidy from Louisiana, Mitt Romney, Ben Sass, Lisa Murkowski, and Pat Toomey. A lot of the troublemakers that were there through the whole Trump administration that didn't want to, go with the party line.
The never Trumpers.
Yeah, the never Trumpers.
Crap, I meant to put something in here about it. That cop that died.
Uh-huh.
Did you see the actual medical report versus what New York Times said how he died?
No.
Medical report didn't even mention blunt force trauma. And New York Times said he was hit so hard in the head with a fire extinguisher, rushed to the emergency room and died.
So what did he die of?
There's no conclusion at this point, but oh no, they're saying it might have been in a reaction to the pepper spray was the next thing they said that can cause a blood clot, apparently, kind of like a stroke. Which was news to me. I didn't know that. I went and had a quick look that up real fast because I thought that was the whole reason why you could pepper spray people. You know what I mean?
Right.
But apparently it's so infrequent, and it's usually when it's a massive amount and it's like an instant reaction, not 3 days later.
Right.
Okay. So, but yeah, New York Times made it sound like this guy got hit, smashed the head with a fire extinguisher, rushed to the emergency room and died. And he didn't go to the hospital for 3 more days.
Right.
And possibly the most surveilled part of this country at that point in time, the Capitol, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. There's tons of security cameras everywhere.
Not just that, but how many camera phones too?
Yeah.
Just boom, cameras everywhere. There's not a single video of this guy getting hit with a fire extinguisher, which doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Right.
But New York Times said it happened, and people just ran with that narrative. Yeah. And the medical report, the coroner didn't mention blunt force trauma.
Yeah.
So it just kind of makes you wonder, like, who's really deciding what happens, The
media.
The
media's narrative. I'm liking the new memes that are showing up on Facebook, that are saying, if the fact checkers don't show up for this, then what's going on. People are putting up there.
I've seen that. Like Biden's got like 4 peace prizes and a Medal of Honor and cured AIDS and cancer.
Yeah.
If you don't see a fact check on this, maybe you realize what's happening here. I thought that was pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
That won't last. Well, actually, it'll float its way around, but it's going to work around the same circles that have been talking about this crap for a while.
Yeah. And then now I'm seeing all kinds of memes of, pictures of President Trump as back-to-back champion, for the impeachment.
Oh, that's good. I haven't been on Facebook since it happened. That is good. Back-to-back champions.
Yeah. That's going to piss a bunch of people off.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I can't wait for the stuff with like the 2 fingers out sideways with like a Super Bowl ring on each one of them. Just like when he's beating the crap out of Vince McMahon, but they put CNN on his face. You remember that crap, right?
Yeah.
That was when CNN threatened to dox that kid. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
That was crap. There was something in here that tied into that too. Oh well, doesn't matter.
Well, the My Pillows are gonna be going under because of the new pillow guy.
Have you seen this besides what I sent you?
Yeah, I've seen some articles on it. He has nobody on his board of directors that has any idea about how to run a business.
No, he, in the name of diversity, he hired a whole bunch of people that they like all have like art majors.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, he's glad I got a gay black man and a lesbian Asian. And he goes down the list and you're like, do any of them know how to make or sell pillows?
Or know anything about manufacturing or marketing.
The thing is, though, I bet you he's not actually going to make pillows. He's going to sell merch. It's going to be the crap you can get someone else to put your face on.
Uh-huh.
I bet you it'll be that crap. And he's going to make all his sales to basically the same thing as a donation.
Yeah.
That's just my guess. I got a feeling he's not going to be making a My Pillow or one of these nice, expensive ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Nancy Pelosi wasn't too happy with the outcome of the impeachment either.
She's not a stupid woman, is she?
I think she's beginning to seem very stupid. You know, she really thought that she was going to get 16 Republicans to side with their rushed impeachment to convict him.
Why don't the Democrats ever think about what's going to happen next week for what they do today? Had they?
Yeah, they've opened up a Pandora's box here, you know, because I'm hearing people saying, well, why can't we impeach President Obama? Why can't we impeach Bill Clinton now for different things? Now,
Exactly. And well, it's because the Constitution actually clearly outlines how an impeachment works.
But we got precedents now.
But there was precedent before. There was 2 attempts before, and the Senate threw it out as soon as it hit the Senate floor and said, no, he's not in office. I can't remember who they were.
Mad because they're talking about doing censors. I can't even say it now.
Censoring?
Well,
censuring.
Censure, yeah, of the president. They're like, that's not a penalty high enough for what he did. Well, there's no proof he actually did anything except in your own mind. And they're also saying now they're talking about pushing a law through that would specifically say that Trump can't run for any federal office again.
If that's not the definition of targeting someone, then I can't think of one. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You can't come up with any reason. We're just gonna say a law that you can't do it because we don't like you.
Yeah.
Are you sure, or was this some crazy conspiracy crap you read, or was it Babylon B?
It was from it was from Fox News.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I wish I would have clipped it now.
See, what the problem is when people start to think it's okay. It's like, well, for this one excuse, outside the box thing, we can make an exception.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but it just grows and grows and grows from there.
Oh yeah, who gets to decide what the line is? That's the whole point of freedom of speech, right? Like, here we go. Let me tie this in. Larry Flint.
Yep.
Just died.
Uh-huh.
And
78 years old.
How many?
78.
There you go. So apparently you heard the same news I did, because I am certain neither one of us knew Larry Flint's age. Which, by the way, what is it? 27 episodes ago, we would have mentioned that he had died at the beginning of this one.
Right. Yep.
But he did a lot for freedom of speech. As much as especially conservative Republicans hated the guy.
Yeah.
He did a lot for the First Amendment. And he's a filthy, disgusting man who did nothing good for humanity except for making sure that the First Amendment is absolute.
Yeah.
I don't know. He kind of pushed the borders on filth at that point in history anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But when I was in high school, I kind of liked that magazine.
Well, of course you did. Just, was it the poll says 96% of men have looked at internet porn and 4% are lying? But I mean, we're not going to get into the whole Jesus thing. I was going to say, we all sin. No, but it is. What was it? It was Larry Flint that the whole thing was about, actually, wasn't it? When
Yeah.
they
Uh-huh.
and Tipper Gore was involved in that one, or was
Um,
she only involved with music? Because remember,
uh,
she was the one who got the censor adult parental advisory things put on CDs.
oh yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
I was wondering if maybe she was involved with the Larry Flint thing too. But what the hell has happened that we went from the ultra conservative Republicans trying to censor stuff to your progressive liberals censoring people?
Exactly. It's all about control. You control the narrative, you control the people.
Yeah, and actually that'll bring me right into something that you brought up here. You put up here a couple days ago on our list for the three people that listen. We create a list in advance because it actually helps us
Uh-huh.
do this and not have to read our own handwriting. What was it? 70% of Republicans would consider joining a third party if it happened.
Yeah.
It was a CBS poll, which it says a CBS poll, but it was conducted by YouGov. I'm not sure
Right.
how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hyperlinked them both in there with your link. Which,
Yeah,
by the
I
way,
see
those were
that.
within that link.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Trump's already said he's not going to come out and start another party. So, but I don't know if I put it on here or not, but then there's a bunch of never Trumpers that are talking about starting their own. Yeah, it's right next one down. Anti-Trump Republicans are discussing organizing a third party. But it's not like a true party in the sense we think of it.
Like a
It's just
caucus instead.
they're gonna back different candidates, whether they're Democrat, Independent, Republican, and push them up the ranks that way, and get them to caucus with. It sounds like a stupid idea when it comes right down to it. So,
I don't know, man. What is a Republican right now?
well, it depends on your definition of a Republican.
Yeah, well, what would you consider a Republican?
Um, I don't know. We watered down the party so much; it's crazy. Trump
Not,
tried to undilute it, and he got nothing but trouble the whole 4 years he was in office. So,
what kind of okay? There you go. That goes right to the point, though. Is Trump's politics have not really changed in the last 30 years. It's just the world around him has changed, and he went from a pretty liberal Democrat to all of a sudden he's a right wing extremist. The
Nazi.
Overton window just slipped right past him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, he's always been about making money, but being charitable.
Right.
And especially the Democrats, I don't know what it is, man. They are not about charity. They seem to think taxes and handouts are charity.
Yep.
Like every study ever done has found that you allow people to thrive and they will give away more money. Shit, that was the whole point of, well, actually, it wasn't the whole point, but it was like a major story or lesson you're supposed to learn in Great Expectations. It's because Ebenezer Scrooge, not Great Expectations, A Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Ebenezer Scrooge said, "Oh, I pay my taxes. There are poorhouses and prisons. There's plenty of food for you."
Mm-hmm.
That after he had his scare, he was charitable instead of saying the government takes care of you and I pay my taxes. So you don't see a lot of Republicans saying raise the taxes to help the homeless when they can just reach in their own pocket and then not have to pay 75 people along the way.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So that was the long way around that one, I suppose, huh?
That's all good.
But yeah, but that poll is only 2,500 people.
Yeah, that's not a very big sampling.
I thought the same thing, especially if it was. I mean, I've heard of YouGov.
Yeah.
And I mean, CBS, you think they'd have better resources than a 2,500 person poll?
Yeah.
Or maybe they're just trying to make it look like the Republican Party's fracturing. So
Well, it's very weird because I'm clicked on the poll, and it said the actual question for the poll was, "How much have you heard about QAnon?"
Oh yeah, I didn't even have to click on it. It came up in the little window. Yeah. I can't read that now because I have my windows all side shot with each other.
Oh, okay. It says 11% have heard of it a lot, 32% some, 26% not much, and 31% nothing.
What is that? I don't want to say, well, that have to. Okay. All right. I don't know. What do you consider a lot? They're supposed to be a secret society. So, like, even knowing they exist would be a lot, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I got a buddy who's certain that they're actually behind everything. It's like, okay, bud. Sure, a whole bunch of pedophiles run the planet.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. All I could think of was Alex Jones and Pizzagate.
Which most people haven't heard about.
I don't know if there's anything there or not. I didn't see it develop into anything, but Alex Jones wasn't known for always speaking cohesively.
But he does sell good seeds.
Oh, I've enjoyed his show a lot, but it's usually laughing because he goes so metaphoric in his descriptions about stuff. He's like aliens leaving peanut footprints in his peanut butter. It's funny, but now I can't listen to him anymore because I'm not going to pay to subscribe to him, and everyone else has banned him.
What's he on Spotify?
No, you have to go to Alex Jones. I'm sorry, Infowars.com and subscribe now.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, with shoot, they got one guy that's really good. Shepherd something.
Yeah, because Joe Rogan's on a subscription base with Spotify now. So
Oh, it's finally started.
yeah.
Did they ever get to the bottom of those missing videos?
No, I don't know anything about the missing videos.
Well, it was a while ago. They were saying that he was being censored, but
Oh yeah, Spotify is censoring him.
yeah, that was a while ago though. I don't know. Never heard what happened. Never heard whatever happened with it.
Well, I mean, I think that's to be expected when you sign a deal with a large corporation like Spotify. They've got advertisers that they gotta keep happy.
He made a big deal about that though, saying that he wasn't going to be. They weren't going to have any creative input whatsoever.
Yeah. We've all heard it before.
Yeah, I know. Well, the problem is you don't need. That's the problem is they want subscribers while they charge a subscription fee. The whole point. I'm sorry, they want advertisements with a subscription fee.
Right.
The whole point of subscription fee is I don't have to watch commercials, right?
Yeah.
That's why cable is the biggest ripoff. Well, you got a couple extra channels back in the 80s that you couldn't get on antenna, right?
Right.
Now, if you want to run an antenna, which is not even an antenna anymore, it's like a cable in the ground that you can still get those with somehow. Now you only get a handful of channels, but you still get the basic stuff that most people watch. It's just, I don't know, it's just BS. It's ridiculous, man. They charge you a fee to purchase their product, and then they charge you, and then you have to sit there and watch advertisers too.
Well, that's why I got DVR. I record all my shows and then fast forward through the commercials. So.
Which, honestly, I thought DVR was going to make the TV commercial go away. Like, I really thought it was going to happen, But, like, I got a CBS All Access. And we got the cable, and I don't use the whole cable a whole lot, but it is convenient. But when I do CBS All Access and I want to watch the new like NCIS or something, or the new
commercials,
I get commercials on the app. So I use the cable box and we record it and hit the smart fast forward button. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That automatically hits play again on the cable. I don't know. It just seems nuts.
Yeah. Because if you're paying for CBS All Access, which is about to become Paramount Plus, you shouldn't have commercials.
Is it really? Paramount bought CBS All Access?
Well, they're merging it together because Paramount is part of CBS Viacom.
Yeah, I suppose they are, aren't they?
So they're actually, I was reading an article today. I know you're going to be excited about this, but they're bringing back the original Real World crew from New York City, and they're putting them back in the same apartment in New York for only to be seen on Paramount Plus show.
I didn't
How
watch it.
old are these people now?
I was gonna say they were what 25, 23 at the time.
Yeah, and this was in the 80s. So I mean
Oh
they
my
gotta
God, it
be
was.
they gotta be my age or even older.
Yeah, yeah. Who wants? Yeah. Oh my God, they're all gonna be like popping their knees and like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, I think I have to pee again.
And if they're going to go down this road, maybe they can start doing some road rules reunions too.
Oh, real world road rules challenges.
Yeah, we get the 80-year-olds out there doing sport.
In the wheelchairs with oars.
I was when I read that article, it's like it's semi-intriguing, but I probably wouldn't watch more than one episode of it. You know?
I wouldn't even watch one myself, but that's just me. All right, so what's this thing you got here about the Democrats stripped the GOP amendments in a passing budget resolution?
Yeah, the thing they're trying to run through with the stimulus, you know,
that extra 2,000, I mean 1,400. I mean, it depends on how much money you made last year. Check you're gonna get.
You're gonna get 1,400. If you didn't make more than $75,000, you're getting 14.
I thought it was like 55,000.
They raised it back up again.
They did okay because it's like, are you kidding me? I was like 55,000. Don't get me wrong, it's not a ton of money,
but
it's not a nothing.
I got them to vote on, you know, no stimulus checks to illegal aliens and a couple of other things in there. And the Democrats just voted again and stripped all that stuff out of there.
How
illegal aliens are going to get checks too.
How does an illegal alien get a check? I don't understand. They shouldn't be in the system, right?
No, they're probably going to create some special website for them to go and apply on.
What? I don't understand.
Biden's about to make them citizens, so.
No, he's not. He's going to allow them into this country to work as slave labor, and he's going to push off anything that'll give him citizenship to well beyond when he could possibly be in office. And he's going to give the Republicans every chance to shoot it down before that happens. So it's not on him. He's not giving anyone amnesty. He's not giving anyone citizenship. He's allowing them to sit here like DACA and work for less than minimum wage because they don't speak the language. And then use them as a political pawn to say, look at this, we have all these people we need to help.
Are for the illegal aliens that are already here.
What's that?
Those checks are for the ones that are already here.
Yeah. Why are we paying these people to break into our home?
That's the Democrat way.
Just seems kind of crazy to me.
Oh, yeah.
Not that the Republicans are doing any better. When was the last time the Republicans did anything?
I don't know.
I mean, they did nothing about big tech censorship. They actually had an opportunity to get on this and get in front of it.
Yeah, now they're talking about how they need to do it.
Trump had his head up his ass every time someone asked him, was like, are you going to get on a different social media platform? And he'd look at, what's his name there? Crap. That guy that was always whispering in his ear. Can't remember. Hutchinson, Stevenson, whatever. It was like, no. And he's like, and Trump was like, yeah, but which one? I don't know, man. And then it would have been easy for him to say, I'm going to get on 3 or 4 different platforms because you can get an app that'll even post to all of them at once for the same thing.
Yeah.
So there's no way you're going to be able to shut me down unless you shut all of this down.
Yeah.
Tim Pool's actually
really needs to be on social media though. I think he can get his message out, you know, without social media.
What, he's gonna be like the Mockingjay, whistling in the woods?
I don't know.
What was he gonna do? He's gonna buy a New York Times article or advertisement piece to put his word in.
He can.
Yeah, until they tell you no, we're not gonna do business with you. It's like that whole Carano thing with Disney.
Yep.
She put something on Instagram about like I know it was like a retweet, repost kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
It was about not demonizing your neighbor because that was what they did in the 40s in Germany.
Right.
They got you to believe that your next door neighbor was actually like the devil, and then you asked your government to save you from the devil. And she got fired for comparing something to Nazis. And I just like my jaw dropped. Really? That's all I've been hearing for a long time.
Yeah.
And her co-star on that show, and I should say the star of the show, Pedro Pascal, back in 18,
Yeah.
posted a picture of actual Jews being exterminated in camps in Germany. And
Uh-huh.
had a picture of children in cages in the United States saying, oh, it's the same thing. And the best part was it wasn't even a picture. The picture he shared wasn't even from the United States. But he compared us to Nazis
Right.
with even a fake picture. And she just said, hey, don't believe someone that says your next door neighbor is trying to kill you. Why don't you go talk to your neighbor first?
Yeah. You saw that article that the neighbors complained because their Trump loving neighbors came over and plowed out their driveway for them in the middle of a snowstorm.
And they compared them to Nazis in that article, in that piece.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just how the Nazis did it. They could convince you they were kind. It's like the dude took time out of his day and was nice to you, and you're calling him a Nazi. There's no way to win.
Yeah.
Like, you can't possibly see that this man might see the world different than you and not be a terrible, evil person.
Right. Exactly.
Just frustrating as hell, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
You can move on if you'd like. You can keep going the same thing. I'm going to pop up my headset so I can hear you and go to the fridge to get a couple beers.
Okay. Well, I mean, I just think that I've never been a big fan of the cancel culture, and I think it's just getting crazier and crazier as time goes on. So, I mean, when does it end? When people are so afraid to say anything or post anything, then I guess the cancel culture will have won in the whole process. So.
Yes. No, what I'm afraid of happening is a parallel culture and possibly even a parallel economy struggling against each other for the same government. Because Gina Carano has already been hired by the Daily Wire for their new movie, because Daily Wire has moved into production, movie production.
Okay.
Ben Shapiro's company.
Yeah.
They've already made that one movie. I'm sure you've seen the commercials for it. Run, Hide, Fight. Really, as much conservative news sites as you traverse, I would have thought for sure you'd seen that. I come across it all the time, and I don't even go to Rush Limbaugh.
I got Absolute Truth saved on my DVR now. I haven't watched it yet though. The My Pillow documentary from it was broadcast on OAN a few times last weekend, so I recorded it one of those times.
But okay, the Daily Wire made a movie, Run, Hide, Fight. It's about a school shooter, and they have a whole bunch of school shooting. They have a whole bunch of experts. In terms of experts, I mean like FBI, former FBI leading expert in kind of stuff. So they've already made that one movie. I don't think it's out yet though, but it's commercials, so you can find them easy.
Okay, where is it being distributed to?
It might be through his own webpage.
Because I don't see any movie theater chains picking it up and carrying it or anything like that.
Well, it's not ultra conservative. It's about a school shooting, and it's what people do, and it's got like the experts going, well, here are the 6 steps that could keep you the safest or whatever, you know. but it's not a, oh, you crazy liberals are starting school shootings kind of thing.
Okay.
What they're trying to do is create a culture that doesn't automatically lean left.
Okay.
Basically, is they want to create a movie that you can watch where, did you watch the new Wonder Woman?
Yes.
The guy that was supposed to be Trump
Uh-huh.
goes, yes, things are good, but they could be better.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, you know, why you got to put this crap in it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think that's what's going to happen is because your Democrats like to boycott.
Yeah.
Your Republicans typically don't boycott because they're not.
But I had heard a lot more people, you know, they're
Well, this
boycotting
Disney thing.
the Disney thing, and then with the My Pillow thing, you know, people are cutting up their Kohl's cards and, you know,
Kohl's
refusing.
dropped My Pillow.
Yeah, Kohl's dropped My Pillow, and a bunch of other places did, and people are just not stopped. They already said they're not going to shop there because of it, you know. So
yeah. For anyone who might listen to this show, I just want to point this out in advance. Your Kohl's card's one thing, but like canceling your subscription, just don't renew it.
yeah,
Why let them get 5 months that you've already paid for and not have to provide service?
right.
That gets me every time. Like when those everyone went and burned their Beatles records because John Lennon said they were bigger than Jesus. It's like you already bought the record. You know what I mean?
They got their money out of the process, you know.
Yeah. It's like, and then he apologized and we haven't bought it again. It's like the dude's a genius. I don't even know what we were talking about.
We were talking about cancel culture.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
If you want it, then we might as well talk about Gorilla Girl while we're on the same kind of thinking.
I didn't realize how viral that went. The funny thing is, I didn't see that anywhere except for the wife showed it to me, and she's like spraying her hair, and I was like, she's not really like this is a joke, right? Like that's not really Gorilla Glue, is it? And she's like, I think it is. It's like, no, it's not.
Yeah, it was. She's talking about suing Gorilla Glue, a lawsuit that she cannot win no matter how hard she tries.
Well, thank God she didn't light a cigarette right after spraying all that Gorilla Glue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was even funny. I don't know if you ever heard of this guy called Maxon Beatty on YouTube. He was born in Nigeria. I think he's an American citizen now. I'm not sure, but he's hilarious. Skinny little black guy. But he's always talking about stuff like this. I cannot believe. He did one about her, and I laughed my ass off because I'm subscribed to the guy. Yeah. I was like, oh, Tina, Maxim Beatty was talking about it. And she's like, oh, really? And then the next day, it was everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I saw she was suing, or that she had to go to the emergency room. Now she's thinking about suing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there was a plastic surgeon that came up with a chemical concoction to get it out of her hair.
Oh, so they did find a solvent.
Yeah, and he did the surgery for free, but it wasn't for free because he got millions of dollars worth of publicity out of it. You know.
Okay, what
good plastic surgeon that got the Gorilla Glue out of the crazy girl's hair?
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, that's good. Well, I was gonna say, what good does it do him to do it for free? But if plastic surgeon, yeah, it's not like he's working. He's not like he's a resident ER surgeon. You know what I mean? Yeah. See, that's what we need to do. Is we need to find someone who's done something this stupid and get them to come on this show. Problem is, I don't do things that stupid anymore.
No, you got a family now, so you can't.
No, it's been a while since I've done anything that stupid.
Yeah.
But oh my God, I almost peed my pants when I saw her spraying. She's like, this will hold it real good. I was like, no. And then the wife says, like, oh, why don't you just let it grow? It's like, because it won't. It's glued to your head. It'll all go ingrown. It'll pull your scalp off your head. She's like, oh yeah, you're right.
Oh. And it had to feel horrible, you know. It's like not being able to do anything with your hair.
Oh yeah, it would have pulled tight and got itchy, and oh man. I hope she got a whole bunch of subscribers out of that, or followers, or whatever it is she's doing. Because man, yeah. Sorry, I've been thinking about doing something different with my YouTube channel. I'm still not sure what I want to do with it. I've just been speaking out a little bit, kind of like what we do here.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping this summer to start doing some fun projects and doing them that way. You know what I mean? And not like this broad. I'm hoping to like build a kiln and like melt down like copper into bars or something. You know what I mean? For long-term storage, it'll be fun, but I don't know. I'm having fun doing stuff like this, and I'm having fun being able to publish stuff that people can watch, even though no one does. It's cool to know that it's out there for people to pay attention if they want to. All right, where are we going from here?
Where do you want to go?
Well, we could go by this Donald Trump Jr. impeachment trial making Trump stronger thing.
I think that's totally true.
Because he's bulletproof, apparently.
No, just the fact that it's just showing how crazy the Democrats are to like make sure that nobody like Trump ever becomes president again. A political outsider.
Yeah. And it's even more interesting hearing a lot of these people that agree with that still calling themselves the anti-culture, the counterculture, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, when the billionaires, the corporations, and most of the politicians agree with you, you are not the counterculture.
No,
you are not the rebellion here.
Yeah. I mean, Trump was laughing when the SAG people wanted to revoke his membership to SAG for making movies 20, 30 years ago. He's like, screw you guys. Here's my card.
Yeah, he's like, have it. Well, what's a Screen Actors Guild? They're a joke too.
Yeah, exactly.
All they do is blow themselves. That one that's not very good, is it? Yeah, it's supposed to be bullshit.
Yeah, it's kind of muffled.
Yeah, that's too bad. Oh well. Yeah, but that entire impeachment thing, that was one big giant joke.
Yeah.
I mean, it was never gonna go anywhere.
Nope.
It's freaking clown world, dude.
Yeah.
Honk honk.
Uh-huh.
I still think Trump should break off from the Republican Party because I think the Republican Party isn't what the Republican Party should be.
Well, I know what you're saying, and I kind of agree with it. I just don't see it happen. He's got all the Republican Party bigwigs showing up in Mar-a-Lago trying to convince him that he needs to stick with the Republican Party and campaign for them in 2022. Because they know, as much as they may not like the way he did run the presidency, and how crass he was, they do realize that at least 75 million people voted for him. And in order to win re-election or take over the House or the Senate in 2022, they need those 75 million people to show up to vote.
Yes. I think it would work better if he walked away from the Republican Party and said, who wants to follow me? Because these guys aren't what they were, and goes back to what the Republicans are supposed to be, which was preserving the Constitution. Now, the only thing the Republicans do is they hold on to a leash of the left, and they only allow them to go so much further left each year.
Right.
They're not preserving anything. They're not doing what they're sworn out to do, or what their party platform even says. I don't know, man. Like, I think I brought this up when we were doing the 70% of Republicans are willing to leave the party, but
yeah,
what the hell is a Republican? It depends on who you ask. If you ask some people, I'm a far right Republican. You ask some people, I'm a friggin' libtard.
Uh-huh.
Depends on who you're talking to.
Yeah.
And by the way, libertarians are pissing me off more and more, dude.
Why is that?
They're getting more and more anarchist. At least in their chat groups. And they don't seem to realize the difference between libertarianism and anarchism. Yeah, that's the right word. I just want limited government that only does certain things.
Uh-huh.
Not no government.
Yeah.
And I like the lower the level, the more government there should be. My town of Pembroke should have a bigger impact on my life than the federal government.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. My town changes an ordinance here and nobody notices and nothing ever happens. In 10 years, you might get a ticket one day. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You didn't even hear what I said.
You're not gonna get a ticket.
You didn't hear what I said. I'm saying my local government should affect me more than the federal government.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, and the more local the government is, the more it should affect me in my day-to-day life. Because the more local it is, my town versus my state or my country, I get a bigger say in what happens.
Uh-huh.
Just like it pisses me off in Massachusetts votes Republican for the state, but Democrat for the nation. They want to save the money and not blow it in the state, but they want to go ahead and spend everyone else's money in the country. And I think this Massachusetts may be very highly productive, industrious. It's a little tiny state.
Yeah.
So by going, quote, Democrat on a federal scale, they're taking more. Actually, that's not true. Massachusetts is one of like 16 states that puts more into the pot than they take out. Which is kind of scary. There's only a handful of states that put more in than take it out.
Yeah.
Which makes you wonder why Massachusetts votes to do that. Because it's like, you do realize there's all this money that you're giving, Gesundheit, all this money that you're giving to like Texas and California, huge, huge states for school, you could have put into your own schools.
Mm-hmm.
And that maybe when I do run for Massachusetts Congress, state level, not federal, maybe that's what I'll bring up as my argument. Gesundheit, you guys are nasty in there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'll bring up as my argument is we could be spending this money on our schools instead of trying to get the federal government to make our schools better. Because when we do it federally, we're giving money to everyone.
Uh-huh. Sounds like a pretty good platform to me.
Yeah. I tend to not be able to keep my head cool and just start cussing people out. And if I want to do that, I have to run as a Democrat. Oh my God. You got like a new cat or something?
No, I'm not allergic to cats.
All right. What's this RFK thing you got up here?
He was banned from some social media platform because of his anti-vaxxer post.
Was it anti-vaxxer or anti-COVID vaccine?
Anti-COVID vaccine.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I think of the COVID vaccine. So, hold on. You got banned from something?
Yeah. Instagram.
Really? I would like for someone. I don't have an Instagram account. Do you?
What?
I don't have an Instagram.
I do, but I don't do much with it.
You should go find an anti-vaxxer Jim Carrey post. Be like, hey, how come this guy's still here? He's been doing it for decades.
But it's not COVID-19 anti.
Oh, so it only see that's exact. Is it even worth pointing out the double standard anymore, or is it anyone who's paying attention at all realizes the double standard?
I don't think they realized they created a double standard. So
Well, like exactly, Jim Carrey. Where is he standing on this COVID vaccine? Is he pro COVID vaccine?
no idea.
Jenny McCarthy, she stopped doing her her vaccine thing a while ago because she got hired somewhere and they're like, yeah, you can't be doing that. Part of her, contract.
What she's on Sirius XM, isn't she?
Is she?
I think so.
Oh, good for her. I guess everybody's this is the same thing as Sirius XM, isn't it?
Yeah, but they're actually getting paid to do it.
If we put a little bit of effort into this, we could get paid too. We could. We're putting bare minimum effort into this.
It's more than we were when we first started.
No, yeah, well, no. If we first started, we got hammered and we started talking about stuff. I said, someone hit record. This is good stuff.
It is. I think we're doing a lot better job now.
Do we actually? Well, once we started actually writing stuff down, that was usually like right before we hit record.
Yeah.
Like right before. Now we're spending a week using a shared document over the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And normally that document didn't start getting written until we were
the day of
6 beers into it.
Now I have preserved this though.
There will be cricket.
This phrase, I think of that one all the time. I was like, that was the weirdest thing he said at the end of that episode.
You should have played that at the end.
That was what, Podbean Garden?
Podcast Garden. Podcast Garden.
Podcast Garden. I had to go, and that was, geez, I'd have to listen to how many episodes to find that one. Yeah, sorry, here we go. I did not read this article. Normally I read them, at least the ones that I post. Nikki Haley is saying that we shouldn't have followed Trump and it was a big mistake. She was a big pro-Trump person.
Okay.
Like I said, I didn't actually read it, and I usually, oh geez, that's huge. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Oh well.
And this is one of those sites I hate going to because
a million commercials and stuff.
They're giving me ads for everything.
Yeah, that always sucks.
Everywhere, there's ads popping up everywhere.
That's always a pain in the ass, but it's free.
An NEX ad.
By the way, yeah, The Hill. I'm not even a fan of The Hill. Actually, generally, I don't like The Hill. That's probably why they're excited about Nikki Haley saying this.
But they're all trying to preserve their future or whatever in the party. And she even says down here further in the article is I don't think the Republican Party is going back to the way it was before Donald Trump, nor do I think it should.
Okay. So then what was...
So it seems like the headline is misleading. Surprise, surprise.
Go figure. It got me too. Like I said, I didn't read it. Usually I read them.
I mean, she did say that, we shouldn't have followed him as blindly as we did, He's got a big bully pulpit, but the meat of the article says that the Republican Party's changed forever and it shouldn't go back to the way it was before Trump.
Well, like I've said, Trump isn't the issue. Trump is a symptom.
And here it gets good. One of the last paragraphs is, she's a potential contender for 2024. And she created her own new political action committee. Stand for America.
How does someone like you or me get the funding to run for president of the United States?
We got to make a political action committee.
What does that even mean?
It means we find big money people that donate to our PAC so we can run our campaigns.
And what kind of 100 millionaire is going to give me stacks of cash to run for president?
You should have got him a Bitcoin when it was cheap.
Oh, you should have made a ton of money. No, okay, no, there you go. Sounding traditionally conservative. It's your fault for not being rich. No, but there's got to be somewhere, some group somewhere that's waiting for someone to say, you know what, F it. Some dude with a blue collar and scars on his face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who's gonna say, you know what, someone needs to just do something for us. But the problem is that was supposed to be Trump, and as weird as it sounds, you put a billionaire in to do it.
Yeah.
Trump was a bull in a china shop.
Yep.
I mean, problem is every time he kicked a swamp monster out, 2 more moved in.
Yeah.
By the way, did you see the Mythbusters episode with the bull in the china shop?
Probably.
Yeah, the bull actually goes nice and calm, just kind of walks through and doesn't knock anything over. It was kind of cool.
That wasn't Trump.
No, but what did Trump actually do though?
I think he brought to light the different factions in the Republican Party. You got the Never Trumpers and the establishment Republicans and the newer Republicans that want change and they want to make a difference.
Yeah, I'll even call them your millennial Republicans because they're in their early 40s-ish, right?
Yeah. And that's interesting because you brought that up because you have the opposite problem in the Democrat Party because the millennial Democrats want to be socialists. AOC, Tlaib, Omar, they just stripped this Republican House representative from her committee seats for something she said 10 years ago. But Omar is now on a chairman of a subcommittee for foreign policy. And she said some crazy, wacky things in her past, too.
Well, then why don't the Republicans do the exact same thing that the Democrats did to them?
They tried.
No, they haven't. They got no balls. They got no spines. All they do is slow down. All they do is slow down the Democrats.
They don't have the votes.
Make it super public. Point that out is like you flipped out with this woman, something she said, 5 years ago when she was not in office. Why don't you care what this woman said when she was actually banned from a women's march, wasn't she?
Yeah.
That was her, right?
All
right. You're just kind of agreeing with me like you're not sure and you want to sound right. But I'm it was one of them though. Oh no, crap. Yeah, one of them was banned from the women's march because she was so anti-Jew, I thought.
Okay.
I can't remember. That was a long time. It was several years ago.
Yeah.
So you see this thing about the Axios journalist that was covering the Biden campaign was dating a Biden aide?
Yeah. Yeah. And then somebody from Politico asked about it.
It was Politico that asked?
Yeah. And they're like, he's going to destroy you. He demeaned him. And this is in total contradiction to what Biden said when he first got in office.
Fired on the spot.
Because Biden said that if you do something like this, you're automatically fired.
Yep. 1 week suspension without pay.
Woohoo! That's so horrible. 1 week without pay. What will we ever do?
No, don't get me wrong. That is pretty sucky, but many more people have been much longer without pay
Yeah.
And well, they got $600 and then another $600
Yeah.
in 8 months.
Right.
I mean, you punish the American people to worse than what she's getting, or
Yeah.
he. Sorry.
And that should, I mean, that's a conflict of interest. I don't care how you look at it. I know people fall in love and start dating in situations like that,
Then you start
but
covering different stuff at work. Then
he needs to be put in a different part of the administration if they want him to still be in the administration.
well, she can start covering different art stuff, and someone else can cover this.
I don't know if she's covering the political side.
Thought she was the one covering the campaign, the whole campaign.
She is, but I don't know if she's covering the White House.
All right.
But it does present the air of partiality, you know. It creates an imbalance in the situation of free and fair press.
Yeah. Did you see that CNN is even now saying that Biden's out of control
Yes.
with his executive action?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, thank you for sending me that thing last time. Because we've been saying this for a while. I was like, oh, it's just unbelievable executive action. And then we looked back at like 6 or 7 different presidents. Like, holy crap!
Yeah.
It was like 7 times as many.
Yeah.
But Biden's already done what, more than Trump did his entire time in his office?
Yeah, and FDR did the most, but he was also in office for 3 terms. So
True. But I'm just saying, in a week and a half or whatever, Biden's already signed more
Oh,
executive orders than
done
Trump
great.
did. Period. And Obama, not together.
I don't really see Trump on the list. So
Huh? No, it only goes to like 15 years ago.
okay.
Or
Yeah.
10 years ago, maybe. Yeah, because I looked, I was like, oh, let's see where he is.
Yeah, it's as of 2017. So right at like a year after Trump got.
Yeah, it was, yeah, there you go. Okay, so it wasn't near as long as I thought then.
'Cause I just pulled it up.
Yeah. Oh, well, that was easy enough. By the way, what document were you trying to send the other day that got shut down?
I don't know. I don't remember now. And I think they shut me down because I sent this document over Messenger.
So, well, and they said you can't send files that big anywhere.
I don't know. They said I wasn't authorized to send files anymore. I disputed it, and I haven't tried to send another file since. So
That just seems weird.
yeah, I don't remember what I was trying to send now. But yeah, it was weird because it's Messenger. Who has ever, I mean, why should they care what files I send to other people on Messenger? It's not like it's on Facebook actual where other people are seeing it, it's a file I'm sending between friends. Oh, it was a zip file. It might have been a reason because it was a bunch of photos that were zipped up into a file, and I was trying to send it to a person that was on my last ship with me because she wanted some photos from then. But it was a zip file.
All right.
I feel like I'm in hollow ground now that I went into Facebook jail for sending files. I'm in good club with you.
I say, this is your first time in Facebook jail?
Yeah.
This is not my first. I've been in Facebook jail a couple times for a couple things I've done.
And it won't be your last either.
No, but my next one might be my last one.
Oh, okay.
It's convenient. Well, as convenient as it is to keep up with people with Facebook, they give you shit for the dumbest stuff sometimes.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. If it wasn't that I was using Facebook for my business, and it's a great, easy way to keep up with people, I would have left a long time ago.
Well, I mean, it's easy to build one for your business that's separate from your own private one, but
Well, I've done that, but I mean, I still need Facebook for it.
Yeah, it just sucks because Facebook was supposed to be to keep in touch with like college friends, and now it's turning into like the only way to communicate. That and Twitter, but Twitter is so far left, it's insane. And then you got a handful of Republicans on Twitter, like 12, and Ben Shapiro's one of them. I'm just talking into the darkness here, the abyss.
I agree.
That was even better, dude. I was actually looking for the button to stop recording so I could hit record again in a minute. I'll probably trim that out anyway. Graham says he plans to meet with Trump to discuss GOP's future. Lindsey Graham?
Yes, Lindsey Graham. Basically, I read some of the article. Basically, he wants to make sure Trump is going to campaign in 2022, just like McCarthy did earlier. They're all making their pilgrimage to Mar-a-Lago to ensure that he's going to be on board to campaign.
I still don't know what Lindsey Graham stands for.
I would say he is almost never Trumper, but not quite.
Yeah, he seems like he's just looking up for Lindsey Graham.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with
that. Because I mean, I've seen him on everywhere on the spectrum, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Keeps getting elected though.
But it's getting closer and closer, though. He's not getting elected by the huge wide margins he has in the past.
Interesting.
But that also could be a fact that more and more people from your neck of the woods are moving south, too. And bringing with them their political views.
When they get older, they tend to move down to Florida, but that's why Florida is such a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but typically New Englanders go.
A lot of people have moved to North Carolina too.
From like from New England, like Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, the New England area, you know, because there's a section right outside of Raleigh that's high tech
for jobs.
So there's a lot of high tech jobs there. So they've, you know, as jobs have left Massachusetts and New Hampshire and Vermont, they've moved further south.
So as we've destroyed the jobs where we live because of our politics, we're going to move somewhere else where there are jobs and destroy them slowly the same way.
Yeah, exactly like what's happening in Texas with all the Californians leaving California, moving to Texas.
You know, let me dance the line of the slippery slope fallacy. The thing is, when you move to another state, for example, from like California to Texas, and you, well, I won't, you know, be quite as liberal or, you know, whatever. If I'm going to move to Texas, excuse me, that was disgusting. Where I was going, won't be as liberal if I go to Texas. Oh, but then something comes up 5 years later, and you tend to vote more conservative because you realize this is doing better for me.
Right.
But 5 years later, something comes up and you go, well, you know what? I disagree with everyone else. I'm going to vote this way anyway.
Yeah.
And then it passes. And then it's the slippery, more and more and more and more until it's California again.
Yeah.
And now you're moving out to go to the next state.
Yeah.
Because they haven't destroyed themselves yet. And it's like, you're a virus. You know?
Exactly. Yep.
You show up, you infect, you kill, you move on.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just like Elon Musk. I'm worried about Elon Musk going to Texas because he sounds like a freaking liberal, even though as much as
he's a liberal.
Okay, I was just saying, as much as he's been talking, people, so many conservatives are talking great about the guy. He's not even liberal.
He built his company on government subsidies. He's a liberal.
And he's the richest man in the world on a company built on government subsidies. How come that money has not been returned exponentially to the people what they lent him.
I don't know.
This is the prime example.
Yeah.
We gave him these subsidies exactly with all this crazy money, but we'll just say $100 million. He will say altogether over all these years got, but he's worth what, 7 billion or 15 billion or something stupid.
You know, and then he got the contract with NASA too.
Maybe just seems crazy that they want to. There you go. That's it. They want to tax people that are doing it on their own. He doesn't get taxed in that situation.
Right.
Richest man in the world doesn't get taxed because you're paying for it.
Yeah.
What the hell?
But you could fly on the first commercial
spacecraft
for free.
As much as I like Elon Musk, because he's doing cool stuff, I don't like the idea that he took my money to make himself a billionaire.
Yeah.
And the only thing he's doing is arguing my side of the argument versus putting money down to actually like build an argument. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shit. Ben Shapiro's doing more to. Sorry, I'm getting angry.
Okay. Let's talk about suicide.
I was going to go on to something else, but sure. We can talk about. Actually, it's not even about suicide. That was just part that was brought up. The article is about no one seems to give a shit about our vets until Veterans Day, or if they get their arm or the leg blown off. Just like every time someone thanks me on Memorial Day, you know, I get pissed off.
Oh, yeah.
Or even Veterans Day, it's like, don't thank me, you know?
I actually think I read this article before.
It's possible. But yeah, and suicides are going up. And just, I don't know, man. Just people act like they care.
They don't.
If they did, it wouldn't be happening this much.
Right. There's just lip service to it, you know?
What's that?
It's just lip service, you know? It's like when people say thank you for your service, you know, do they really thank me for my service, or is that just what they
obligation
think they say when they find out I was in the military for 20 years?
They obviously don't know what it means.
No.
I drank both those beers. I'm gonna go grab another couple. Hold on.
All right.
Hold the line. Toe the line.
I'll try. All right. Well, let's talk about Governor Newsome. You know, the governor of California that is in the midst of a recall battle with the population of the state because they don't agree with his coronavirus lockdown rules that he wouldn't follow himself. And, you know, they're just fed up with everybody fleeing the state of California because of Newsom's policies and regulations. So,
yes.
You know, California is known for its recall initiatives.
I was just going to say that they recall everyone.
Yeah.
But they've only actually deposed.
It gets on the ballot, you know, especially a Democrat being recalled.
I was just going to say they've had 6 recalls. 5 have gone through. All 5 that went through were Democrats.
Okay.
And it was always in a situation like this when they said, we can't just be throwing money around. We can't just throw money away. We can't destroy the economy. We need a Republican.
Well, even the Democratic legislature is trying to take away his access to emergency executive powers.
So what does that do?
Well, it means you won't be able to enact any more stay-at-home orders for the whole state, but still go to the French Laundry, one of the most expensive restaurants in Napa Valley, for a private party.
You should either have the authority of the office or you shouldn't. If you can't just say, well, you're upset, so we'll take this away. No, that's a way to appease the people enough so they're not pissed anymore before the vote comes around.
I think he's going to get recalled.
I don't think he will.
I think he will. And then they'll hold another, because I guarantee the lieutenant governor is just as big as of a Democrat as he is. He'll take over the governorship and he'll get reelected. It's not going to change much, but it's going to appease the people by getting rid of Newsome. And Newsome, here's where it gets good. Newsome's going to get recalled, and then Biden's going to hire him for some position in the administration. So he's not going to get demoted. He's going to get a promotion in the process. It's just like how Biden hired that crazy lady from Washington State that lost $700 billion in unemployment funds to the Nigerians. And now she's
Prince? The Prince?
Yes, the Prince of Nigeria got tons of unemployment compensation from the Washington State.
Nice.
And she was hired to be part of the administration.
Well, have you seen the people that are telling us how to be healthy? You got Beetlejuice in Chicago. You got the Secretary of Health or whatever. They're he.
I don't know.
Sir. What pronouns does this person use?
I don't even know who it is. So.
Oh, it's a transgender.
Hmm.
Don't get me wrong, I got nothing against that. That's definitely
pronoun they use.
And actually, anyone who does actually listen to the show knows we don't have an issue with transgenders because we've had a tranny, and she calls herself a tranny on several times.
Yeah, she's been on the show before. I tried to get her on the show recently, but she's busy.
We've been trying to do our own YouTube thing, but she's been too busy. We're supposed to be Testicles and the Dirty Tranny.
Uh-huh.
It was gonna be funny. And we could do something similar to this.
Yeah.
But less time, only like 2 topics, and like twice a week. That was the idea.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. No, a little quick. Hey, what happened in the last 3 days? You know, like, oh, this and this. We just never really got into it. We tried a couple shootings, never published anything. She's been busy working for other people. She's been working, setting up YouTube channels for people. And apparently, apparently one of her clients, or whatever, just hit like in a week, went from like 35 subscribers to like 35,000.
Huh.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I got a lot of work to do, you know?
Can we hire
her? Probably could, but
I wouldn't mind having 35,000 people listening to the podcast.
We need to put a little more effort into our display and everything here. I'm not even sure what it looks like on YouTube. I think I've clicked on it once. I don't know if it has this big giant black border like it does on my Zoom screen, you know?
Yeah, it probably does.
And I'm sure I could fill it in with something else. Yeah, okay. What's up with this? Are Israel and Saudi Arabia like important allies?
That's what their Biden administration is trying to figure out.
All right.
I mean, I would tend to hope that they realize they're important allies. I mean, to a certain degree. I mean, Saudi Arabia they've stood by America through a lot, even though most of the 9/11 terrorists came from Saudi Arabia.
Doesn't mean it's the country's fault, though.
No, it's the religion's fault.
The extremists' fault.
Yep. And Israel, they've always been there. I mean, we've been there for Israel since their founding.
Very true.
All of a sudden, they're going to change the policy. It's just crazy to me.
Yeah. And really, yeah, I hear a lot from a lot of people like, oh, Israel's being crazy and they're ridiculous. And you ask them for examples, and it's just like when they say Trump's out of control. They go all the time. It's like, well, if it's all the time, it should be real easy to come up with an example.
Yeah.
And then the best part is then they'll send me an article is how Israel fired rockets into the Gaza Strip.
They have to occasionally because
That's where I was going was, and then I send them back a link saying those 15 rockets were retaliation to the
yeah,
whatever they
people
took out the
don't
military
realize
installation that attacked them.
I don't think the common person realizes that until Trump came along, that every Muslim country's creed was to destroy Israel.
Be careful saying that. No, because I know what you mean, and I know what Trump meant, but the average person doesn't pay enough attention to what's going on to realize that when you say Muslim country, you're not referring to nations that are predominantly Muslim.
No.
You're referring to a theocracy, a nation led by God. And so Iran is a theocracy.
Right.
That is why the pilgrims left England, because it was theocratic. The king was the word of God, right?
Yeah.
And I know we refer to it as Islamic and Muslim nations a lot, but it's not necessarily the predominantly Islamic. It's the people that take it as the word of God is their government. Sorry, I had to point that out because it is different.
Okay. Well, I heard that
Tunisia is predominantly Muslim, and they're insanely peaceful.
Yeah. I've trained with Tunisian people, in the military. I just heard on the No Agenda show today that Kosovo actually opened up an embassy in Jerusalem.
Kosovo, I thought, was a Russian city.
No, it's a country.
Was it part of the USSR then?
No, it was, well, probably at one point. It was part of Bosnia, Herzegovina, Serbia, all that area.
Okay. Because I remember we had the Olympics in Kosovo in like 96.
That was Sarajevo.
Okay. Something happened in Kosovo when I was in high school. When I was in high school, damn it.
Yeah, Kosovo broke away from another part of Serbia in 1996.
Oh, they had a revolution.
Yeah.
Oh, good for them.
I don't know. I'm making it up, but
yeah, all right.
It did break away.
It sounds right.
I don't know if it was 96, but they broke away from the Serbian Republic at some point. But 96 seems too soon because I was there when we had troops in Kosovo, and I was with Combat Camera in Norfolk, and I was there between 96 and 2000. So somewhere in that time frame, more closer to the 2000 was when I would have been in Albania taking pictures in the refugee camps.
All right. Did you get to keep a copy of those pictures you took?
I did,
but you didn't.
I've found a few here and there, but I haven't found the vast majority of them.
Really? I bet you have some amazing pictures.
Yeah.
For anyone who's trying to figure out what we mean, is he was actually a photographer in the United States Navy. That was his job, was to take pictures. Pussy. But pictures were needed to be taken. Don't get me wrong. Journalism is necessary, especially in war time. Yeah, I personally fixed engines and welded warships together. He took photographs, but
both jobs are necessary.
No, they absolutely are. You're right. Propaganda is just as important as actually fighting. It really is. It did drive me nuts, though. I'd be like doing a repair in between the two shields of the reactor. with a dosimeter on, measuring the radiation I'm getting while I'm doing a weld.
Uh-huh.
And I'd go up to get my lunch, and the guy who made my lunch got paid more than me. I'm like, are you kidding me? It's like I'm welding lead inside of a nuclear reactor.
Yeah.
And the guy who made me a grilled cheese today, because for whatever reason, they couldn't turn on whatever.
Uh-huh.
Which I never heard about why they couldn't turn this thing on, because I'm the guy who fixes it. So I would have known if it's not working. I get a grilled cheese after getting enough radiation.
Laziness.
Yeah, but I get enough radiation for my hair to fall out.
And it did.
Oh, it did. This dude made me a grilled cheese, and he got paid like $400 more a week than me. I was pissed for so long about that. Well, what do you do that's so important? It's like, well, I have top secret clearance inside of a nuclear reactor on a United States warship welding a reactor shut. What'd you do? I melted cheese on bread. Yeah, you should definitely get paid more. Yay, socialism. He's been doing it longer, so he gets paid more, right?
Yeah. We got one more topic.
Is there a time ticker on this anywhere for me to tell how long we've been doing this?
We've been going for basically 2.5 hours.
No way. It's only 9:14. We started
at like 7:45.
So an hour and a half, maybe.
Okay, yeah, whatever.
All right.
It's your topic too.
What's that?
Tim Pool.
Oh, the Twitter banned Veritas.
Twitter.
Yeah. Twitter banned Veritas. They didn't give a reason.
They don't have to. They're a private company.
True. And I don't necessarily know they didn't give a reason. That's what Veritas says. But Tim Pool is personal friends with the guy there, Jim O'Keefe or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And said they are not necessarily permanently banned. They just need to do a couple things to be allowed back onto Twitter, which they'll probably end up doing because Twitter's huge. But I don't know. Realistically, what is Twitter doing for Veritas? The only Republicans following Twitter are either people like you and me that want to be able to go, hey, what the hell is going on? Like, what the hell did they say? And politicians. The typical.
Twitter just came out and said that their average daily usage of users actually went up after they banned Trump.
I don't believe that.
That's what they're reporting.
Yeah, I don't believe that. There was something else that happened, or they're just flat out lying. Why would you start using Twitter because Trump wasn't there? All you had to do was just not follow Trump, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's another issue with this social media thing becoming so popular. It is convenient, but you get to pick who you listen to.
Yeah.
And
I do.
And you do. But that's the echo chamber everyone keeps talking about is you create your own echo chamber by subscribing to this, subscribing to that. You have to make sure you listen to the other guy, you know?
I know.
Then you have no idea what the other guy's saying.
Unfortunately, I still do.
That's because it's everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to get to meet this wife of yours.
I don't know.
That happened quick, by the way.
We've been dating for years.
See, I didn't even know about this. I see on fucking Facebook, Brian McFerrin is married. It's like, no kidding.
We've been talking about it for a while. Then coronavirus hit. And when we finally were able to get the marriage license, it happened the next day. So that part was quick.
Justice of the peace or
my local pastor. We did a little ceremony outside of the church in like a field. It was just like immediate family. Ray was pissed because Ray wasn't even invited.
You crazy Protestants and your outdoors weddings.
But we plan on doing something bigger, you know. Hopefully next year when things calm down, we can invite more people and stuff. So.
They're not going to calm down, dude. This isn't going away. This is what they're doing to be able to hide the fact that Biden can't get more than 100 people at a rally. Yeah, but if they had everything open, you could go everywhere you wanted to go. Then they had another rally for Biden and 18 people showed up. You wouldn't be able to say it's because of COVID anymore. Oh, that one kind of hurt. That was the last of our topics.
Yeah, you got more?
No, I knew I should put more effort into this. That's too bad. You got anything you want to talk about?
Not on top of my head.
All right, well,
let's talk about the Super Bowl.
And how the ratings are down a stupid amount. Their ratings went down considerably.
Yeah. And everybody that I saw thought Kansas City was going to blow out Tampa Bay. But
no, Tampa definitely won that game. And Kansas City.
It was over before the first half was over, you know.
Well, Tampa Bay wouldn't stop holding defensively holding.
I thought it was all about Brady.
Brady and Gronk are an unstoppable duo.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh my God! Did you see how it was racist that Tom Brady won the Super Bowl? Yeah, it was super racist, and there were people. It was hashtag Happy Colin Kaepernick Day.
Oh, brother, not Colin Kaepernick again. Oh,
And you just want to be like, these people that are saying this, do they know who he actually is? It's like, are you trying to tell me that you could have put Colin Kaepernick in that position and he would have done what Tom Brady did?
Hell no.
No one else would have done that. He's Tom Brady.
Yeah.
As much as you hate the guy, he's the GOAT.
And they were freaking out about the Super Bowl boat party where he threw the Lombardi trophy over to another boat, you know, and then he got wasted on the boat. Yeah. It was caught by the people on the other boat.
I heard that he was wasted at the parade.
But he had his daughter with him, and his backup quarterback was more sober than he was and made sure he got off the boat safely. So
day drinking in the sun in Florida, man, that's some dangerous stuff, you know?
Oh, yeah. That's not necessarily a bad idea, but you are going to get wasted in the process.
Yeah, just don't try to go do a parade after that. By the way, how was Florida?
It was awesome.
Where'd you go?
Orlando.
I got
Orlando.
I got in-laws in the Orlando area, man. I could have hooked you up with the subculture.
Okay. Yeah, it was it's a different life down there. They're in Orlando, the county's not wide open on mask restrictions. They still want you to wear masks indoors and stuff. There's other parts of Florida that don't give two shits about it.
Yeah.
But it was nice having my freedom of not masking up everywhere I went back.
Yeah, I'm getting fed up with this mask thing. And now they want me to wear 2 masks.
I thought we were up to 3 now.
They're suggesting 3.
But there's clips of Andrew Fauci saying masks are useless.
Oh, hold up. Oh, I hit buttons. Cuomo brothers.
Oh yeah. How in the hell did we leave that off?
I don't know. I had to drum roll that one.
I didn't hear the drum roll.
Oh, you didn't hear the drum roll?
No.
Oh, that's too bad.
Okay. Oh my word! There's actual Democrats in New York State that are talking about impeaching Andrew Cuomo.
He killed Grandma. And there's evidence
what's
they did
worse
on
about
purpose.
it, they covered it up.
There's evidence he did it on purpose.
Yeah.
And he admitted to covering up because it was an FBI investigation. Isn't covering up this stuff a crime in itself?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, because they said they didn't want to give her the correct numbers to the Department of Justice because, you know, it was the Trump Department of Justice. And they said, I was reading an article today, just before we did the show, where it said that the normal attorney general's office that would handle the case is like Cuomo's mother-in-law.
Yes.
Sounds like a conflict of interest to me.
Well, this was something that I brought up. We discussed this 5 months ago, maybe.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They were talking about putting all these people in nursing homes.
Yeah.
And we even said, like, we actually floated up naval hospitals.
Yeah. Nobody went to the naval hospital.
Not a single person. And what did it cost? What did it cost us to mobilize that thing?
Millions of dollars.
Yeah, because they had to get ready for an outbreak.
Yeah.
Which is a serious sterilization. Yeah, we floated up a hospital from what, Florida, right?
Norfolk.
Or was it from Norfolk? Okay.
Yeah.
I say, Norfolk, because there were a couple there. Didn't put a single person in, but he pumped all the sick people into nursing homes and killed thousands and thousands and thousands of the most vulnerable people to this disease. Now, here's the question. Okay. The issue is not whether or not he did it. It is known that this happened and that he lied about it. This is fact. This is out there. You can find it on this YouTube thing. I will find a link and I'll link it in the description, and I will make it a point to try to link in all of our citation that we've been using all night.
I mean, and it's interesting because there's a Fox reporter that questioned Cuomo about all this because her mother-in-law and father-in-law died.
Yeah. Yep.
And she's been like ridiculed through the whole process. And all she wants to know is why.
There's a guy, apparently what set this off was some guy with a banner went up on the highway overpass. You know what I'm talking about, like the yeah, just like we see everywhere, you know, whatever. Dropped a big giant banner that said Cuomo killed my mother. And that was what started the investigation. Problem is, they lied about the numbers.
Oh, big time.
And thing is, and again, it's not whether or not he did. Now the question is why.
It's definitely a big cover-up. So.
Well, is he protecting himself, or was he allowing? Or is he? Let's go more nefarious.
Because he's expecting to be the next nominee for
president
down the road. You know, he expects to run for president.
He was so full of himself that he wrote a book of how to handle a pandemic.
I know. It's a bestseller.
No, the evidence is coming out that he killed everybody. But was it what? Was it to protect his name? Was it because he didn't know what he was doing? Because they didn't have the funding? Because they'd blown all the money? Or was it destroy my economy, inflate the death numbers, fuck Trump?
And what's going to happen with CNN, you know, with the brother who had him out all the time?
And they were giant Q-tip. Yeah, that seems like a little conflict of interest there with your brother being the interviewer, you know? I can cut this back out later, I'm sure.
To me, it's just a double standard because if Trump would have done half of what Cuomo did, he probably would have gotten convicted of impeachment.
Convicted of impeachment?
He wouldn't have got it. If Trump would have done the same thing, like covered up numbers, covered up actual deaths, and tried to, he actually he got rid of the ethics committee in New York State.
Yeah, isn't there someone someone that was involved in the New York government trying to like bring him into criminal court?
I think so.
Like not even civil court, like you're gonna go to prison court. Thing is, what do you charge him with?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's exactly the problem is we don't have names for these crimes. So you can't charge him for it.
I don't think you can. It's just we got to come up with names.
Yeah, well, you can't just make up a name for a crime and charge someone. Like it has to be something you can charge them with. And sacrificing humans for your political career is not a crime.
You sure?
It's unethical. You might not get elected again, but go ahead and try to arrest someone for that shit, dude. I don't think you're gonna get them steel bracelets. And his brother, the CNN guy, just blew him the whole time.
Yeah.
They had giant fake Q-tips to do a COVID swab.
CNN loved it. That was great for their ratings.
Yeah, that wasn't a conflict of interest.
Yeah, it was, but CNN didn't care. They were making money off the deal.
They're both living off their father's name.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Nah, F them all. F them all. Even the people that listen to this show don't know about half what we're talking about because they're not paying. Don't get me wrong. I'm not picking on you folks. I'm really not. This is what we do because it's fun. This is actually a hobby of ours. But you probably don't even know who Cuomo's father was. You know?
He was governor of New York.
Or Trudeau and his father. That's how Trudeau got elected.
Didn't Trudeau just fly to Florida or something like that to party with the family?
I hope not. After calling the Proud Boys a bunch of terrorists.
Oh no, it was the mayor of New York that did that.
Oh, Trudeau is the prime minister of Canada.
That's right. So the mayor of New York took off to Florida to hang out with his family, but meanwhile he was telling everybody in Toronto to lock it down.
Yeah, that's shit, falling down. That's starting to bother me more and more. And what's pissing me off even more and more is that people are saying, well, it's okay when they do it. It's like, no, that's the whole point of this government system is that they're not better than you. That's the whole point, right?
Yeah.
Or am I wrong?
No, that's right.
None of these people are better than you. They don't deserve better than you. It's what you can do on your own.
Yeah.
No one's going to be handed shit. Now, don't get me wrong. If you can't find food for your child, we'll feed you. And I'm 100% on board for feeding the hungry, and I'm sure you are even.
Yeah.
I keep saying it as a Republican, but I've told you several times I don't think you're a Republican.
Well,
I don't.
I'm not a Democrat.
You're definitely not a Democrat, but that doesn't mean you're a Republican. This is not a dichotomy. You could do what I said and said they're both a bunch of assholes.
Yeah.
They're all just lying to us. Now, Ray's a Republican.
Oh, yeah. He's further right than I am.
Oh, man.
We had 11 downloads on February 8th.
What's that?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Someone's getting yelled at.
Huh? Okay.
All
All right. Okay. Apparently, my son-in-law got in a car accident in his Hummer.
Is he okay?
He's in a Hummer.
Doesn't mean he's okay. That car's made of steel. Doesn't mean he's cushioned.
He's not hurt too bad, I guess.
I know it sounds like the
four-car pilot.
I know it sounds like the big vehicle is gonna be okay, but back in the 80s, all these cars were huge, and it was just spaghetti sauce on the windshield, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad he's okay, and I'm sorry. I'm glad you had me on mute so you didn't have to hear me. I was cracking jokes and going.
Yeah, we had 11 downloads on February 8th.
That's what I was asking. And I didn't even upload the last one. I really wanted to. I was just so pissed that I lost power and cut out.
Uh-huh.
I'm definitely uploading this one, though. It'll be easy enough. Hey, and by the way, if Ray doesn't want to do audio because he's got the baby, maybe he should do like audio only. He'll still get his messages across.
Oh, on chat, like he's been doing?
Yeah, that's what he's been doing.
Yeah.
Well, then if I want to record the video and publish it, it's not like the top of his forehead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the wall.
I just don't realize. I don't think he realizes he's like Wilson.
Well, I guess that's all I got, dude. Oh, I do want to introduce you to some of these sounds I have, though.
Okay.
All right. The Reading Rainbow thing. And this one's fun, the downer. There's only a couple of these that are even decent, but I already did the slide whistle. Hey, I'm sure you're gonna know this one.
Let me get up.
Yeah, it's time to get up and heave out and trice up. Plan of the day is. Oh, I hated waking up to that. I would make it a point to set my alarm before Reveille, so I did not have to wake up here in the freaking morning. Definitely. Oh my God.
I like to be the first person in line for breakfast, so.
Yes. Yes. I was typically the last one for dinner because of my job, but I was always at Midrats. You know what's funny is we're talking about a socialist system with fondness. As we say, socialism is terrible, but these people don't understand that if you live in this socialism, actually, we brought this up today. How if you do that for enough years, you go home and shoot yourself in the damn head.
Yeah, but I think you'll agree with me on this, though. The biggest thing you miss from the Navy is the camaraderie.
Yeah, but that's what everyone says about the service in general.
Well, it's because it's true.
Yeah, what does that mean? It's like I was friends with everyone.
No, but you have a common bond.
Yeah, don't get blown up. I'm glad I didn't get blown up.
Yep, I am too when I walk through that minefield.
All right, well, we were talking about the Cuomos. I guess that's it, though, huh?
I think so.
We could have gone a lot further with the Cuomos, but we were not prepared for that argument.
No, I didn't even put it on the list.
Neither did I, but they've been. They should be arrested, but I don't know why. And I don't like saying that. But I am certain they did something that's actually against the law.
Oh, yeah.
They're bad, bad people that'll lie, cheat, and steal.
Yeah.
To better themselves. I don't know. I don't like getting angry, man. I'm making an effort to not get angry anymore. Apparently, it's having an issue with seizures.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Beer does too.
That's a problem.
Yeah. Luckily, marijuana does not. No, even better. I can get a marijuana card here in Massachusetts because I'm epileptic.
But doesn't that affect your gun rights?
That's what I keep hearing, but I don't think they're allowed to do that. Now, that doesn't mean they're not doing that. It's a good point. I should definitely look that up. I mean, I bought it at a dispensary before, and I've been told just buying it at a dispensary puts my name on a list. But what if I have an actual like medical claim and a doctor actually said, yeah, this will actually help your situation? Why should I not be able to own a gun?
I don't know.
Just because, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I would even say like, if you're on Percocets, you shouldn't be allowed to own a gun. Typically, your not your antidepressant. Typically, your painkiller addict is more likely to go nuts, kill everyone than themselves.
Yeah. Well, let's close this show down. We want to talk more. We can.
Well, we can close it down. Wait, this is episode 26.
Yep.
Of the second season. We've only brought that up a couple of times recently. I don't know if we're going to keep bringing that up. I'd like to bring up some changes to the show sometime in the semi-near future, but I don't know what they're going to be yet.
You can't bring them up until you know what they are. You didn't even talk. Here we go. Like, I got a topic that
There you go.
What about Anthony Scalise?
Oh, yeah, I should have messaged today about this, didn't I?
Yes.
What, the 6-year anniversary of his death, or 5 years?
6.
Yeah, he died of a heart attack or something, though, right?
Yeah. They say.
What's that?
They say he died of a heart attack.
Oh, it might have been some Russian ricin ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a while ago. It actually showed up in my Facebook feed today as like a memory.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I sent something out to you guys. I was like, oh crap, this is today.